Boys came into the week obviously very disappointed in their performance and looking to right all their wrongs this weekend.
Well, they've got 80 minutes to do it, and they're kicking off the Denver Stampede. Will Meiji, the fly half. Scott Green in the orange shirt. He's our match official in the centre. Here we go. Goes the 10 metres. Knocked forwards straight away and collected in front of the offside decision then. First penalty of the game to Denver. Knocked forwards, but it was offside, so that's why it's a penalty. And early opportunities then for the Stampede, and they're going to see whether they can put some points on the board early. One of the problems they faced, I mean, even in last week's game, Niku, is that Ohio scored 6 tries to Denver's 2, and that's been an issue for them most of the season, hasn't it, the try scoring?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Denver has struggled to put some points on the board. They definitely relied a lot on their defense. But I think that was one big thing we worked on this week, was making sure the team was coming from depth. You know, we felt last week that Ohio was definitely getting up in our faces on defense and giving us opportunity, not ready to make the right decision and giving us 50-50 passes. So today I'm definitely expecting some more front foot attack, coming a little bit more depth, and definitely using the speed and the strength we have outside.
Will Nagy then with this attempt. That's close. But just to the right of the right upright, so as we were, 0-0. We'll come back to the centre spot for a kick-off. It'll be the 22 after that penalty attempt on the 22 line, Sacramento Express. Looks like Harry Bennett. Nicely collected there.
By Brody Orth. Great work there by the tall man out in the champs.
Picked up off his toes there, did a low pass. Timoteo out along the line, finding Zach Fenoglio in the middle. Picked up, advantage being played.
Well, kick over the top there by Chris Saint. Down into the 22. Max Delcheval letting it roll over down into his own try zone. This should take play all the way back down.
This will be a 22-metre dropout, won't it, after that ball was kicked by Sacramento. Will McGee. Nice kick over the top from Sacramento, but players unable to chase up quickly enough.
Nick Wallace seemed to have a little flat tire there, fixing his boot real quick as time has taken off.
Wardrobe malfunction, Nick Wallace.
Yeah, you kind of have to make sure you look good in this purple, you know what I mean?
Absolutely, you've got to do everything you can, right?
Yeah, it's definitely not for everyone, let's put it that way.
Lots of caps as well, of course, in the Denver Stampede side. Nick Wallace with US Eagles caps. And there you're looking at Will McGee. Played a lot of his rugby in England up until now.
Yeah, Will McGee was actually part of the U20s team that won the junior trophy and then was lucky enough to be pushed up to the Junior World Cup. And unfortunately, their USA struggling a bit to get the wins on the board. But definitely a step forward for USA Rugby.
Okay, McGee then. The 22-metre dropout. Nice high one. Well collected.
By the new signing in Sacramento, Eric Fry.
I'm very excited to watch Bergamasco play.
Oh, great player there from Italy.
A legend. Him and his brother Moro with something like 200 caps between them for Italy. Moro not here, of course, but Mirko playing in the centre. Shock of blonde hair. Watch out for him. So Saint. And now there's Bergamasco. Steps one way. Gets the offload. That's good inroads from the number 11. I think that's Cody Jarabek rather.
Good hit there by Nick Wallace in the midfield, driving the player back. Turnover ball there. Most of Timoteo got it. Good run by Zach Parga. Denver leaving some quick ball here. Lindsay Murray hitting it up there in jersey number 19. Denver seem to have the numbers on the outside. If they can just get the ball to the open space out the back there to Ata Malifa, drops it.
Just picks his head up, looking for options. Ata Malifa. Unusual for him to make a mistake like that, dropping the ball forwards in the middle of the park. They'll obviously come back for a scrum there. quite a number of changes in the Stampede lineup this week. What's the reason for that?
Unfortunately, the name has got a couple of injuries. We've lost the likes of Peter Dahl, and we do have a couple of players. Our lock combination, actually, Casey Rock and Christian Vissing, both picking up some injuries in the previous game. And of course, we're missing pretty much an entire front row to the Eagles. Uncle Germishuis is actually on the roster to start today. Unfortunately, his flight was delayed, but I think I've seen him sitting on the bench.
Yeah, he'll be coming on at some stage, no doubt.
Yeah.
First scrum of the game. Sacramento's Chris Saint putting the ball in. Referee making sure all set. Nicely done. And out towards the right in the centre of the park still. That's the centre line. Just crossed. Nicely stepped through. Good gain. Wanting looking for quick ball here. It's slowed down.
Seemed there might have been a turnover there by Peter Vandenberg. Nice to Mateo trying to get everyone out there. Yes. Great work there by Peter Vandenberg. If we could see the replay,
yeah,
watch the man work at the breakdown.
It was taken in by Sacramento. It results in turnover ball. We'll probably have a look at that here. Talk us through it.
Great tackle there by Zach Parga. As you can see, Peter Vandenberg coming in there, using the one arm, getting over the side of Bergamasco there to create the steal, being supported by Linton Marie. Great work there by the old man. Definitely showing these youngsters how to work a breakdown, you know.
Ball wasn't coming out, was under the bodies, and a turnover ball in the form of a scrum. Jose Timoteo, I think you called him the evergreen Timoteo last week.
Definitely, definitely.
PRP winner with both the Glendale Raptors and the San Francisco Golden Gate Rhinos.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to play under the likes of Timoteo in the beginning of the season for the Glendale Raptors as we prepared for the PRP, sorry. Yep. And what a gentleman of the game. Definitely evergreen. Still showing me a couple of tricks. It was great to learn from the legend.
Yeah, he's a wily fox with plenty of experience and putting the ball in at this scrum. They just reset that scrum. Just on the 10-meter line here of Stampede. Scrum pops up and ball dropped backwards, but
nicely cleaned up there by Peter Vandenberg. That is a penalty there against Sacramento for hands in the ruck.
Hands in the ruck. I think he was running away actually, Niku. I'm gonna up you. Yeah, there you go. Scott Green making a very clear signal there that the player was on the ground and not making a good enough attempt to move away from the ball. So McGee belts the ball as far as he can. It takes play into Sacramento's half, just inside. And this will be Zach Fenolio for the Stampede to throw the ball in. See where he goes. Front, middle, and it's the middle to Vandenberg, I think it was, picked that out. Fast along the line.
Oh, great work there by Tamana Tahu with an offload there to Mastasheval. Quick ball off to McGee as he tries to give it to Nick Wallace as he loses the ball forward. Advantage here for Sacramento.
Yeah, good technique to tackle the man and the ball, strip it away from the player, cause that knock on, and this advantage, which is now over. And what about that for a kick? Beautiful cross-court pass, they might say, in tennis.
Absolutely, a beautiful kick there by Harry Bennett. Beautiful, kicking for space, putting behind, making Mike Garrity turn around and try and get back to that ball there.
Every pack hates to be marching backwards, so the Stampede have lost a lot of territory there. This will be Fenolio to throw in again. Shorter line out, goes to the front. Timoteo, number 8, Peter Wallenberg. Good tackle up quickly, back right on the 22 though. And McGee wants to clear the pressure if he can. Can he find touch with that? Yes, he does.
Kick there by McGee.
Just what the Stampede wanted, to get play back inside Sacramento's half, up to the 10-meter line now there of the Sacramento half. That'll be a line out throw to the Express.
Absolutely beautiful hit there by the number 5 from Sacramento, absolutely laying Peter Vandenberg out there. Not used to being tackled back the man, is he?
No. Vandenberg with how many? 30 caps for the Springboks. Another man of fantastic talent and experience. This is Cameron Falcon throwing in here for the Express. It's the fly half. Short ball into the centre. Line, good defensive line quickly up.
Nice carry there by Eric Fry. Another eagle on the Sacramento side.
Eric Fry playing loose head prop today. And Deacheval underneath that. Always pretty safe house, Deacheval, and good vision. But probably his kick not quite going where he wanted it. That is Khalid Tavaki making progress back inside the Denver half, and a penalty to Sacramento. And Wallenberg having a word as to what on earth that was for. Not happy with the referee's decision, whoever is. Hands in the ruck is the penalty.
A lot of back and forth kicking going on in the early stage of this game.
Right, and this is what to be able to try and play in the opposition's half, right? That's the both teams.
Yeah, big thing. I think, you know, especially in a game like this, both teams coming off, well, obviously Denver coming off a loss and Sacramento coming for a really good week of preparation. They had opportunity training with the Eagles as they played last night in Sacramento. Definitely trying to feel each other out by the looks of things and trying to gain the territory effect in the first couple of minutes of this half. And a great steal there by Pretty Vandenberg.
Yeah, sorry, good steal is what I meant. Timoteo and McGee waiting deep to once again take play as far down the park as he possibly can. Bounce didn't go for him that time. Lots of space there. Goes to the full back, Garrett Brewer. And another kick. So yeah, Niku's absolutely right. Everybody just wants to play in the other team's half at the moment. Not much flow or pattern to this so far.
Yeah, it doesn't really seem like any one of the sides really wants to have a crack at it right now.
No.
I was actually hoping to see Denver run a bit. Tamana Tahu this weekend in the centres, obviously a legend in Australia. Has played international rugby for the Wallabies and the Kangaroos, which is actually the international league side for Australia. Hoping to see him break the line a couple of times today.
Yeah. There's no shortage of talent out there. Presenting the ball back. Stampede with the ball. Timoteo marshalling the troops. Trying to suck in the Sacramento pack there. Vandenberg goes to ground, recycles the ball. Out quickly along the line. Oh, but well read and well intercepted. Sent that on a postcard. Chris Saint then. And out wide again, trying to use this very wide, almost kept it in. Number 14, Urian Thompson almost kept that ball in. Good attempt, but foot was on the white line, which means it's out.
Yeah, Ryan Thompson, the brother of Brett Thompson, actually plays for the Eagle 7 side. And is actually in camp right now, training for Rio 2016.
Whoa. That's going to be exciting. The Sevens version of the game making its appearance at the Olympics in a few weeks' time. Ooh, juggled the ball, managed to keep hold of it.
And here we go.
Good break.
Dustin Croy, great player.
Dustin Croy coming inside, breaking through the tackles. Former Glendale Raptors player. But was it lost forwards?
Dustin Croy is definitely one of those players. If you had to look at him, you didn't really expect him to be a rugby player. Definitely doesn't look like one of the most athletic players on the field. But let me tell you, when he gets a ball in hand, he's very, very difficult to stop.
Well, no, just to put you on the spot, then, what does he look like? An accountant? How would you describe him?
Yeah, probably an accountant. You know, someone who tends to spend his time behind a desk most of the day. You know. No, I'm just kidding. Dustin Croy, one of the greatest players on this team. Absolute gentleman of the game as well. Yeah. Great guy to be around and absolutely loves playing the game too. Always has a smile on his face, looking to enjoy himself and enjoy the rugby he's playing right now.
And he's one of those players that you give him the ball in half a yard and he's a very exciting player to watch.
Definitely, 100%, yeah. He's got that deceptive speed and deceptive sidestep, you know.
So game clock's off just for an injury there. One of the Sacramento players. Looks like it might be Val Lilo.
Just trying to catch some air, you know. At altitude, it's kind of difficult, you know. You try and drink air as you can, but it's so thin up here, you know,
Right.
maybe taking a quick couple of minutes there to
Yep.
see how many more gasps of oxygen you can find.
Yeah, I mean, it's never going to be easy in this sort of temperature anyway. 91 degrees I have it clocked as, and as you can imagine, it's even hotter down there on the pitch. Okay, so back in the action. This is going to be a scrum put in to Sacramento. Chris Saint, the scrum half.
Just saying, former Penn State Nittany Lion. That opportunity to play against him while I was in college. What a great guy.
Yep.
Great player too.
Scrum holds up very nicely. Number 8 out of the back there, Carol Sumshun. But, was it turned over? Nope, offside.
So coming in from the side there by Linton
coming in from the
Murray,
side.
apparently. Yeah, Kyle Assumption, 8th man for Sacramento, former BYU captain and a national champion, the game of 15s rugby a bunch of times while he was at BYU, and also has a couple of caps for the Eagles. Was lucky enough to play down in South America in my first ever tour with the Eagles. Kyle Assumption, great guy, and obviously a great player as well.
So Harry Bennett thumps the ball down the field, and Cameron Falcon to throw in at the line out. Assistant referee there, Leah Barrard, I think. Saint to the big number 3, Eric Fry, thumping his way down in the middle of the pitch. Saint again, looking for space. A little grubber kick through. Can he get onto this? Max de Acheval read it, and soccer style punts it down the field. Here comes Sacramento again, looking for space in the box. Box kick just too far and out and over the dead ball line. You could see what he was trying to do there, trying to find that space in the corner. Not quite accurate enough.
Yeah, it definitely seems like Sacramento is looking to try and turn Denver around, make those big forwards keep moving around this pitch, and just constantly building the pressure on them, you know, getting them to exit constantly from their own half. Doesn't seem as though Denver is getting the upper hand in terms of using the opportunities they've gotten so far. Once again, looking a bit like they had last week, where every time they have a half break, either losing the ball forward, making a silly mistake there and then. So it's going to be interesting to see how they start playing from here and how they react to what's the game plan that Sacramento is implementing right now.
So they come back for a scrum from the point where the ball was kicked. To Mateo with this ball. Looks pretty even in the scrums. No. Front row goes to his knee, but they're back up now. Good push from Sacramento, but out to the back. Nicely done. And de Acheval then with a grubber kick through. And Mike Garrity racing onto it, but it goes out of bounds into touch before he could get anywhere near it. That'll be a line out throw to Sacramento. Cameron Falcon. Really very little pattern at all yet in this game. Good contest in the air, but and won by Sacramento. Here comes Saint, spotted a gap. Chip and chase after his own ball, but de Acheval in exactly the right spot for that. Gets it to number 19. And a penalty. Ruck formed. Sacramento off their feet. Not supporting their own body weight. Penalty then to the Denver Stampede, and another opportunity to put their first points on the board. Indeed, first points of the entire game. We're 17 minutes in, and McGee going to take the tee. He's right in front of the post, but close to the halfway line. So that's a 48-meter kick.
Definitely a big kick. Will McGee's got a very educated boot though. We used to have a couple of competitions at practice every day, so he kicked the ball the furthest. I usually won, but don't ask McGee. He wouldn't. He might not agree with you on that one. McGee definitely a very educated kicker of the ball. Beautiful strike there.
Great strike, and right through the middle. That was a thing of beauty. Not much of a breeze, which will of course help, but that was beautifully struck. And then the small world that rugby is, Will McGee's mother happens to be a friend of friends of mine back in England with the BBC, who I used to work with at the BBC.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
small world.
Very small world. And that actually isn't rugby related. That's work related. Look at that strike again. Beautifully done by Will McGee. First points on the board then. See, in the 19th, the beginning of the 19th minute, Denver Stampede 3, the Sacramento Express yet to score. And that'll also allow us to have a drinks break in this coruscating heat. And a chance for me to ask you, Niku, something I didn't ask you last week, which was, you know, your cap in the World Cup of 2015 was at the Olympic Stadium in London against your native country. What was that like?
You know, it's obviously coming to the United States. My dream wasn't necessarily to play for the Eagles, represent the United States, and I came here to study and get a degree and play some rugby at the same time. Fortunately for me, it kind of turned into what it is today, and I had an opportunity to represent the United States. And I am very, very proud and honoured that America gave me that opportunity. And obviously going to the Rugby World Cup, I knew that we were in the same pool. I knew that South Africa would play against the Eagles. Obviously going in at that point in time, I didn't really expect to have too much game time. I knew that I was the third choice to come off at the time with Shalom Sunula and Mike Petrie in the mix. But in the week leading up to South Africa, I got the nod from Mike Tolkien, and a lot went through me. There was a lot of emotion. Obviously playing against the Springboks, you know, growing up in South Africa, you get used to watching them week in and week out, and you dream about maybe wearing their jersey one day. But I think for me, being able to stand across the team that I grew up watching, you know, listen to their national anthem and then sing the American national anthem was something that not a lot of people get to do. And for me, definitely a lot more emotional than I think it would have been if I actually played for South Africa. Because I had an opportunity to kind of prove myself, not only to the people that I was playing against, but also prove to the people back home of why I decided to move. And I got this wonderful opportunity to play against South Africa, and definitely something I wouldn't forget, and something I'm going to remember until the day that I die one day.
And what about playing in front of 95,000 people?
Oh, it was unreal, let me tell you. In the moment you start hearing that stadium chant, USA, USA, it just makes the hair stand up my arms thinking about it right now. There's nothing better than that, playing in a packed stadium like that in a country like England, where rugby is like American football is in America.
Yeah. Astonishing. I can only dream. In fact, I do still dream. Even at my advanced stage, but you've actually been and done that, and hopefully you will again once your injury has sorted itself out. Okay, back at the action. Not much happening in this game so far. Sacramento kicking off. Collected by Stampede to Mateo, out to Atamalifa. McGee then deep inside his 22 with a high ball. Just giving that ball back, really, and the defensive line trying to get up as quickly as possible to try and pin Sacramento inside their half. And they recycle the ball. Work forms. Oh, juggled there by Eric Fry, is it? But here they come. Let's see whether they can find some space. Maybe that drinks break will speed everything up a little bit. It's very hot out there. Recycling the ball and win a penalty, probably 4. Not rolling away. They're on the ground.
Looks like Linton Maria, they're just finding himself on the wrong side of the breakdown. Some good phase building there by Sacramento.
Yeah.
Trying to put the pressure back on Denver, but the defensive stint there by Denver definitely working really well. Defense doing a whole lot better than they did last week. Obviously allowing the Aviators to break through their line 6 times. Definitely an improvement. I'd like to see Denver maybe get a bit more ball.
Yep. And
I'd also like to see Sacramento run a bit more. They seem to kind of get the ball out to 12, 13 in the centres and then tend to hit it up. But I'd like to see their wings, Ryan Thompson maybe getting a bit of a run with the ball in hand. Some exciting talent on the wings out there.
Good win by Robert Neeson for Sacramento and that line out. And now there's some space out here on the right wing, running a straight line. Good tackle. Sacramento still with the ball. Into the big centre, into the big prop, I think, who's out there. Looks like Chris Saint's gone off.
Yeah, it looks like Chris Saint's been replaced there by Chope. A product of the Seattle Saracens. Great player. has played a couple of games for the USA Falcons.
Oh,
which
yeah.
is their second side.
Very good side. Well, Sacramento here recycling the ball, going through the phases, picking and going in the middle of the park here. They're sort of 7 meters probably from the Denver line. Good rucking there, pushing them off the ball. But still recycling, still Sacramento ball looking for the gap. Thinks again, goes left, and here's Bergamasco, the great Italian legend, trying to make yards through the middle. And Robert Meeson for Sacramento presenting the ball back. They're being patient here, Sacramento. Picking and going, keeping it in the pack, trying to look for any gap. Still making yards, they're almost up to that 5-meter line.
Steal.
Turned over, stolen ball. And then wasn't protected, and Sacramento get it back again. So no damage there as far as they're concerned. They look like they're going to do the same thing. There's Eric Fry. Distinctive blonde head, low angle, and advantage here in the form of a penalty to Sacramento. Let's see what that was for. Good work by the Sacramento Express pack there.
Great work there by Pierre Vandenberg to make that steal. Unfortunately, Linsemir unable to hold onto the ball as he came away with it there. And looks like Sacramento are going to try and build the pressure by going for a penalty here. First visit to the 22 should definitely leave us some points, if you ask me.
Exactly right, yeah. That's the closest they've been to the try line of the Denver Stampede so far. Bergamasco with the ball as a kicker, taking it back just in a line away from where they were to just beyond that 22-meter line. He's going to try and tie things up here with a pop at the posts. 89 caps, Mirko Bergamasco for Italy.
What a player.
An absolute legend in the game. Great to see these players in the Pro League here in the USA, and is one of its biggest stars. Nicely struck, of course, and effective. 3 points. Bergamasco finding his target in the 24th minute. Denver Stampede 3, Sacramento Express 3. So far, though, 24 minutes in, a bit of a game for the purists, this one, Nick. Not a lot of action, is there?
No, not at all. You know, both teams still seem to kind of be feeling each other out. You know, both teams making small mistakes here and there. Not really having any type of long bursting runs just yet. Hopefully it'll start to get a bit more exciting as we go into the second half of this first half.
High kickoff from McGee. Bounces, nobody touched it. Beyond the 22-meter line, bounced into touch. So that'll be a line-out throw. A nice technique, of course. You send it really high, try and get your pack underneath it. Couldn't quite get there in time. Cameron Falcon then with the line-out throw for Sacramento. And, oh, what's going on? All sorts of jumping, switching around. Just going to settle down and try that again. Shorten line out. 4-man line out. Still not quite getting their timing right, but winning the ball in the end. I think that might be Robert Meeson. I can't tell which is Meeson and which is Sina. Sina might not actually be on the pitch. Although that's Sina there, yeah. Val Lilo there, the number 1.
Good at rugby. Like the USA Eagles team. One of my dad's friends used to play for the Eagles.
Well, the boys' voices you can hear if you can hear them. The ball boys who are standing near the effects mic on the pitch, just in case you're wondering.
Pierre Vandenberg getting a bit of a talking to there by the ref. Must be telling me, but there's been too many penalties up until now.
Right.
Denver seem to be making a lot of errors at the breakdown. You know, the breakdown being one of the parts of the game that are very difficult to ref. You know, a lot of it comes down to kind of what you see and what the ref interprets is happening at the breakdown, which makes it tough because, I mean, every week you either have a different ref and things like that. But I mean, that is the way, that's the name of the game. You have to kind of learn to adapt to how the ref is reffing the game. And unfortunately for Denver right now, just not having the opportunity to get that right.
Line out throw stolen by the Stampede. Let's see whether they can do something with this. McGee looking for space, but there's none there. The fullback, Garrett Brewer was at home, and he's going to thump that down the park to try and bring it all the way back down. Wrong option there by McGee, do you think?
Yeah, you know, if you had to go back and look at that, Denver had maybe about a 3 or 4 man overlap there. Maybe not a bad idea to put it through their hands and see what type of inroads we could have made into Sacramento's line there by going up the left sideline.
Great steal at the line out, this time Fenolio to throw in for the Stampede. Full line out, oh, right at the back, nicely collected. McGee to
Zach Pauger.
Oh,
off the back low there to Peter Vandenberg. Little inside outside, is the man going to make it?
Well, he's close. He's right on that line. Fantastic defense. My money was on Vandenberg there to get across. Denver, the ball has slowed down here. It's given them time, but referee was playing advantage. This is a penalty to Denver.
I'd love to see a replay of that to see maybe if Peter Vandenberg didn't maybe make it there with his long outstretched arms.
Let's have a look. Great rollicking run up the middle there.
Look at this offload here by Zach.
Bauger offloads beautifully outside from the back of his hand. There's Vandenberg twisting, turning, finding his way through. A huge man, huge experience, of course, but Sacramento back in time to just stop him short of the line.
Great work there by Garrett Brewer to get Peter Vandenberg kind of turned over as he fell over the line there.
Penalty kick found this line out, won by Denver with all the momentum. Let's see if they can capitalize this and turn it into some much needed points in this game. So there he is, the maul has formed. Denver took it in, they're going to have to use it. And there's Zach Fenolio comes out with the ball. Ruck, Timoteo looking to recycle it. Looking left and right. Oh, lovely slip pass. And in the corner for a try. Number 19.
Linton Murray.
Linton Murray.
Also former Glendale Raptors player there. Great work there by Peter Vandenberg with the quick hands to play Linton Murray. Let's take a look at this replay here. As you can see, Timoteo looking for his options. Plays out to Peter Vandenberg with the quick hands there to Linton Murray. And of course, Linton Murray making no mistake on how to score that try. Falling over, darting it down as soon as he could. Linton Murray actually on his debut today was on the roster to come off the bench. And well, fortunately for him, Hanko Gerbeshuis having issues to get into the stadium today as he was playing some Eagles duty over the weekend. Linton Murray doing a great job there, finishing it off with a great pass by Peter Vandenberg.
You see Eagles playing and beating Russia last night, 25-0. Now, hopefully that'll give the Stampede, from our perspective, of course, here in Denver, a little bit of, maybe they can relax a bit now. They've got points on the board. Maybe we'll see them opening up a bit more in this, the rest of this first half. McGee then, from the touchline, right-footed, nicely struck. But just, I think, in front of the post. Difficult to see from where we are. Good attempt, though. 5 points in it, then, in the 29th minute. Sacramento 3, Denver 8. Yeah, Will McGee saying just a little bit to the left. Very close. Harry Bennett for Sacramento. To kick off again. Now that probably went all the way. It did indeed. Tried to do the flat ball to try and get his players onto that quickly, but went straight out of bounds. There's an option here. They'll come back. No, they took a line out. The referee wasn't happy with that. Scott Green blows the whistle. Says that somebody else had already chosen to go back for a scrum. Confusion reigns. Dustin Croy smiling as always, trying to find out what's going on. They are going to come back for a line out on that halfway line. That'll be Stampede's throat. Is that Fenolio there?
B3, soft. B3. White punch.
They're going to put it. Oh, well stolen. Some powerful running. Val Lilo trying to keep it in play, didn't quite find his man, it was knocked forwards.
Great run there by Chope, the replacement scrum off for Sacramento. Doing really well to break through a couple of tackles from the big boys there with a great little offload back to Cam Falcon. Unfortunately not able to hold on to it there and knocking the ball forward, ending up in a scrum, Denver ball.
They'll not be happy about the erratic lineouts, right? And this happened to them last week. There's just a lack of consistency, isn't there?
No, 100%. Definitely something that Zach would have been working on during the week. Wouldn't be happy with how that went. We have done better though.
Yeah, it is better. So they're inside the 10 meters line of the Stampede's half. Timoteo then putting the ball in. That scrum just slipping. They're just going to reset and try that again. 9 minutes of this half to go. Mose and Chope next to each other in that shot. Chope Motokana. Whoa, tremendous crash ball. Tahu and then out. Oh, and just slipped. Dashaval. The final pass once again, not quite making it, but Stampede still with the ball. Brody Orth carries the ball. Nick Wallace now in the middle of the field. Presents it back to Mateo. McGee. And there is Timana Tahu. Dangerous player. Would like to see him get some space out onto the wing, but well covered. Good defense this by Sacramento. Defensive line is up, and Stampede recycling, going through the phases here. Oh, and again, just the inaccuracy of the ball slows it all down. They keep the ball, but look, they've gone backwards 20 meters or so. Dustin Croy. Jinx one way, then the other, well tackled. He's still recycling the ball. Annenberg. Logan Collins. Sorry, Brody Orth. It's all scrappy play. They're going backwards again. They keep possession, but really this needs to be sussed out. And Atamalifa almost broke through. The Ashaval deciding to end this particular caper, knocks it downfield, but finds Garrett Brewer, who brings sense and order once again to the game by belting it down the field and out of bounds for a line out. Scrappy stuff.
Definitely very scrappy stuff there. Doesn't really seem to be an idea of what is going on right now. Both Sacramento and Denver kind of just throwing the ball around, hoping someone's going to be able to get something right. They definitely need someone just to come in and say, boys, listen, this is what we're going to do, you know, and kind of calm things down. Denver and Sacramento are trying very, very hard to create opportunities, just resulting in absolutely nothing as of now.
So they're going to stop for another water break here with something like 6.5 minutes. Who would you point to as the leaders on the field, apart from the captain, of course?
Well, definitely, obviously, Pedro Vandenberg being the captain, definitely a big leader. A big strong ball carrier, as well as Zach Finolio. Two of the men that do a lot of the talking when it comes to team meetings, things like that. But definitely got some senior players in the backline, like an Ata Malifa and Timana Tahu. Definitely bring a lot of calmness to the team. You know, when things like this tend to start to happen, you definitely see someone like a Zach Finolio, Timana Tahu, stepping in saying, boys, listen, let's just relax. Hit the ball up a couple of times and start playing our game plan. As of now, definitely kind of just throwing the ball around and expecting something to happen.
You see Pedro Vandenberg.
Pedro Vandenberg having a really interesting story. He actually has 2 kids, one of which was born in Ireland and the next born in France. You know, Pedro Vandenberg having a great opportunity to play rugby all over the world. and having his kids being able to see the world at such young ages is amazing.
So France and Ireland will be keeping a very close eye on the kids, right, in future years.
Definitely, definitely.
All right. Will McGee launches a high one and a long one. 2 players underneath it.
Great tackle there by Mike Garrity, putting the pressure on Garrett Brewer, who kind of threw an offload there straight at Ryan Thompson.
It was on the floor. It seems to be lost under a pile of bodies. Yep, it's been turned over.
Absolutely great work there. If we could see the replay, you'll see the Denver players holding a Sacramento player up, actually causing the turnover there for Denver.
The maul had formed. Catch up with the ball there. So holding the player up, yep.
Tamara Tahu and Zach Parga doing great work to keep the man off the ground. And as you can see, ruck is now formed, as called by the ref. Go down on ground. Players don't have to roll out of the way, which in the end then causes the turnover for Denver, which results in a scrum for the purple team.
In a pretty decent part of the park, that's the 22-meter line of Sacramento. And a solid scrum. To Mateo picking it out the back. McGee to Tahu. Nice ball in the middle. Oh, and the gain just now. A second. Looked like the ball was lost forwards and picked up, but they're going to come back. There was a knock on. And it was knocked on from Denver. So this is going to be a scrum put in to Sacramento after all that positive go-ahead ball. Let's have a look at that. It's Atamalifa breaking through. Nice offload there to Tamana Tahu. And then just spilling that ball forwards. Shame. Looked promising.
Definitely. And once again, the 2 centres working really well there to combine in the midfield. Unfortunately, ball just not going to hand right there as Tamana went to ground. Definitely exciting to watch those 2 play together, Tamana and Ata.
Yeah, both great playmakers. Both have great vision. They know they can see what's going on around them very well. Atamalifa, one of those guys that's you think is almost weighs nothing, but he's elusive and really difficult to pin down. There's the ball. Comes out on the Stampede side, sets it up, waits for the support. Breaks left. Wallace there at the back of that ruck. Wannenberg. Good tackling here. Not allowing much progress. Oh, and a good miss move there. Asheval to the left. Dustin Croy. Oh! Almost. But before it was intercepted by Sacramento, Dustin Croy goes into touch. Very close. No cigar, let's have a look at that. McGee, Deacheval draws the defender. Croy's out there. Foot in touch. That'll be a line-out throw to Sacramento.
As you can see, the great work by the Sacramento defense there, staying on the inside of Dustin Croy, not allowing him any space.
Right.
Another great steal there by Logan Collins in the line-out. Here comes Vincent Marais looking for his 2nd try of the day. Great work, great carry there by the boy. Denver needing some quicker ball here. Mota Timoteo once again barking orders back of that breakdown. Here goes Jake Turnbull, replacement prop. He's across the line but loses the ball.
Game. It's just protecting that ball. Losing it forwards. They're going to come back though for a penalty taken quickly, but referee wasn't happy it was in the right place. And that was for offside. So Denver with still all the momentum. Great tackling, good defense.
Good work there by Harry Bennett, the fly-off. What a great tackle there by the smaller man up against Jake Turnbull, who seems to be on the field for Sienna Ledger, who has been replaced in the front row.
Penalty kick was belted out of bounds. Zach Fenoglio then with the resulting line-out throw, an important one to win from the Stampede's point of view, and out it goes along the backs. Atamalifa tackled by Bergamasco, and the ball turned over. That's really good play from Sacramento in the middle of the park.
Once again there, Harry Bennett looking for space. Great kick, great chase there by Cody, the winger.
Cody Jerabak picks up the ball. Great momentum here for Sacramento. Eric Fry.
Here we go. Sacramento got some space on the outside.
3-on-2 here. There's a 3-on-2. Two players go over and tackle. Stampede finally come across and cover on the 22-meter line.
Here we go. Good clean out there by Denver. Sacramento looking to get some quicker ball here. Harry Bennett out into the midfield. Great hit there by Atamalifa in the midfield. Sacramento once again looking for quicker ball. Everything's slowing down a bit. Denver doing well to slow the ball down. Chope with the dummy. Breaks through the gap. Got one man to beat. Max Dashaval. Great tackle there. Once again, Sacramento need quicker ball. Need quicker ball to exploit the space on the outside.
They've got numbers here as well, but they're also got little space against that touchline. Oh, and I think they're going to call that a high tackle. Yeah. There were players out there. Let's have another look at that if we can look at that replay.
Looks like Jake Turnbull coming on the cross defense there, just hitting Ryan Thompson a little high. Let's take a look at this replay here. Not a great pass in the breakdown. Here comes Jake Turnbull across.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
yep.
Going in a bit high there.
Possibly stopped a try. Took one for the team, gave the penalty away. And Scott Green here, the referee, having a word with number 17, who's been sin-binned.
Jake Turnbull.
So Jake Turnbull goes off for that high tackle, perhaps agreeing with one of the things that I was alluding to, was that it was a bit of a professional one in that probably some, saved a try. Do you agree with that, Niku, or not?
Definitely, it's tough, especially for a prop like that. He has to work really hard to get across the field to make that tackle. Unfortunately for him, as he was coming in to make that tackle, just went a little bit high. Definitely the right call there by the ref. There's no space in a game like this for any type of play like that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for Jake, having to spend 10 minutes on the sideline.
Well, they're really being sensible about the water here, because it is 90 degrees at least out there.
For our viewers who don't really understand how rugby works, we try and create a competition at scrum time. So with Jake being a front row replacement, they're going to bring Sione Lega back onto the field, and then probably take a loose forward or a wing off the field. Not too sure who's been replaced by Sione. Looks like it's Zach Parga. Zach Parga, unfortunately, is going to have to spend 10 minutes on the sideline for absolutely doing nothing.
Right. And that's because you need specialists in the front row. So you have to have an intact front row.
Exactly. You wouldn't want to put someone like me in the front row. Probably won't survive for too long, to be honest.
I'm sure you could talk your way out of it, Niku. Here's Chope. Motokana putting the ball in. Let's see whether Sacramento can make this count, and they can. Number 8 for Sacramento, Kyle Sumshun. Dinks inside and dives over the line for a try. Sacramento Express against the 14-men Denver team. Let's have it on the big screen there. Let's have a look at it. Out to the back of the scrum, Sumshun, and just looks up, finds he can wriggle through. Powers over the line.
Unfortunately there, as you can see, Logan Collins just losing his footing as he tried to step and make that tackle. Carlos Sumshun able to break through the tackle there and stretch across the line right on the half-time hooter there.
Difficult to stop a guy of his size at that distance, right? He's only got a few meters to go.
Fortunately for him, his sense of gravity kind of takes him towards the try line. Someone like me, not much, kind of takes me away when I run big boys.
Mirko Bergamasco to seek the extra 2 points. Swings it round, curls in beautifully for the extra 2, and that'll do it for half-time. And right at the death of half-time, Sacramento Express finding their noses in front. It's Sacramento 10, Denver 8. We'll see you again at the start of the second half.
I'd like to remind all of you the concessions are available. Yellow, back up. Tackle! Go, McKenzie. Cut it in, cut it in. Touch! 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 Yellows, line up. Yellow, back here, guys. Get into the goose. Close out. Annabelle, go that way. Go that way. Nice, Bella! Yellow over here. Troy, back up. Nice pass, Annabelle. Tackle back here. Ball's out. Ready, back up. Come on, bud. Tackle! Pass it, Cash. Tackle! Where's the space? Get the ball to the space. Tackle! Get the ball to the space. Bella, get it to somebody that hasn't had the ball yet. Go, Freddie. Freddie, pass it. Tackle! Oh, that's fine. Play on. Where's the space? Where's the space? Tackle! Tackle back here. Tackle back here. Space. Straight up, Josh! Tackle! Tackle! Where's the space, Hermina? There's your hat, Josh.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to Cyberfield in a hot, not so steamy Denver. 90 degrees they're playing in. And Sacramento Express, as you see, with their noses in front, 10 points to 8. My name's Howard Stableford. I'm sitting alongside Niku Kruger. And during halftime, we've been talking a little bit to the Sacramento coach, Luke Gross. And between us, we've decided that the team with a plan will win this.
Yeah, no, definitely 100%. You know, both sides definitely struggling to put some type of game plan together in this first half. It just seemed as though they were playing some one-off rugby. It should be interesting to see how they react to the conversations that went on during halftime. From words there from Luke Gross saying he kind of walked in and just laid down the law a little bit. Not too sure what that means. Let's put it this way, I'm pretty happy I wasn't in that change room.
Yeah, Luke's a big unit to be shouting at you, that's for sure. He says his piece and then leaves it to the assistant coaches to sort it out. Let's see whether he has. And of course, who knows what was said to the Denver Stampede, who again really haven't. I mean, it's difficult though. Both teams have got so many first choice players missing, haven't they?
Yeah, 100%. You know, a lot of players doing some duty with the national side over the past 2 weeks. A lot of injuries as well, obviously. So, you know, it's definitely tough, you know, putting combinations together that haven't played together that often and expecting them to fire and play just as well as the combinations they've played the entire season. So, I mean, you know, it's obviously expected, but at the same time, too, you know, this is a professional league and a professional setup. You kind of expect them to make the step up. Unfortunately for both sides right now, just kind of struggling to get that step up to go. Should be interesting to see how they react to the start of the second half.
Yep, see whether the halftime talks have worked. That's Harry Bennett with the ball for Sacramento. Is going to call kick off. Scott Green just checking with each of the captains to make sure everybody's ready. And there's 40 minutes to decide this one. Harry Bennett, here we go. Just the short kick off collected by
Logan Collins over there on the wing.
Collins and Tim Mateo with the ball. He cycles it. McGee high, and Garrett Brewer underneath it, but knocks it forwards. Or maybe not. Yeah, he was going to come back for that. Maybe I thought he decided it wasn't knocked forwards. No advantage coming then. So that ended up being a very effective kick indeed from Will McGee. Takes play inside Sacramento's half early in this second half. Scrums have been pretty even, both pretty steady. No great advantage so far from one pack over the other. Line-outs have been a little bit inconsistent, quite frankly, from both sides. Here's Timoteo then with the put-in for Denver.
Just a reminder there, Denver's down one player in the scrum. Zach Parker going off the field because Jake Turnbull, a front row replacement, being yellow carded for a high tackle just towards the end of the first half.
So Denver with 14 men for probably the next 6 or so minutes, I would imagine. Nice cut inside, Atam Alifa, and good tackle. He looked like he was through, as he so often does get through. Now, Logan Collins with the...
Great steaming run there by Nick Wallace, running over Cam Falcon. Denver looking for some quicker ball. Most of Timoteo off to Will McGee, to Tamonata, step inside. Great work there, boy. Breaking tackles as he works through. Here we go. Timoteo off there. Big lifting pass to Pietri Vadenburg. Once again, trying to make some ground. Offload to Siono Lega, who works hard on the ground there.
Timoteo then, looking for the ball. Comes out his way at the back there. This is good early momentum in this second half. Wants a quick ball, finds it. With a high pass. And is there room outside on that right wing? Deacheval with the ball. Held up. Deacheval still going, pumping those legs. Wants to be able to get it, present it back. Does Timoteo. McGee. Oh, and a nice little idea that, but just not executed. Timana Tahu trying to dink it through. Picked up and turned over by Sacramento, and Garrett Brewer taking all that pressure away. Lively and promising start though, right?
No, definitely much better there by Denver. You know, building the phases, looking to kind of pull in defenders by using the big boys on some hard runs. Unfortunately there, Tamana just trying a little bit too much, trying to put the dink through. We should have kind of hit it up, maybe offloaded just before contact to Sione Lega, who was on his outside. But definitely the right idea with Denver there, kind of keeping the ball in hand. And here we go, line out to Denver.
Not again quite what they were after. And a free kick though. Free kick against Sacramento. Wannenberg taking it up, looking for support, finds it. Out along the line, De Acheval here. Out to
Mike Garrity with the inside-outside. Great work there, breaking one tackle, but taken down by Burgomusco. Unfortunately, the ball lost the breakdown, but here we go. Break by Gary Brunda.
He's going to bring it back.
But he's getting called back.
That looked good, but again, just losing the last ball, right? Not protecting it, spilling it forwards. I think they're going to come back for that knock-on.
Looks like the ref might have a little chat here to Sacramento by the looks of things. Not too sure about what.
Let's have a look at that. Let's see what happened.
Great work there by Mike Garrity, the inside-outside. Steps across, shrugs off one. Burgomusco making a great hit. Fortunately there, Mike Garrity just losing the ball.
No, he was offside perhaps, which was the reason for that, because it is a penalty to Denver.
Denver opting for the line out. Here we go, another opportunity once again for Denver to build the pressure inside the 22 of Sacramento.
This is where they want to be and where they weren't too often in the first half. Nice line out throw to the front of that. Maul's formed. We all know what they try to do here. It's a great push. Can they find the back of it? And he's over the line.
There we go. Pierre Vandenberg, the captain, fantastic. Pushing himself over there. What a great maul there by the big boys up front. I have to admit, you know, it's like watching a maul in rugby is like watching a beautiful ballet come together. You know, absolutely wonderful work there by the Denver forwards. Some great work by the big boys.
Classic try, of course. Line out throw, maul forms, give it to number 8 at the back, bides his time, looks for the line, and you're not going to stop Peter Vandenberg.
No, not easily. The man is one big unit. He might be quite old for a rugby player at about 33, 34 years old, but definitely knows how to put his body on the line and play around this park. As you can see, forwards planting together there. Great work to hold it together. Sione Lega coming in there, adding his weight. Moshe Timoteo trying to help out as usual. And great work there by the captain, fantastic, Pierre Vandenberg.
Knew the geography, didn't he? Knew exactly where he was in relation to that try line.
100%.
Will McGee then to try and add the extra 2. Much better start for Denver so far in this second half. Back in front. Let's see if they can extend it to 7. Nicely struck once again, but to the left of the upright as we're looking at it. We're actually sitting at the end of the pitch here, so to the right of the upright as he kicked it. So the lead changes in the 46th minute. Denver back in charge, but not by much. Denver 13, Sacramento 10. There you see that replay, just not finding its mark. Kickoff is shallow, makes the 10 meters. And tried to collect it, the number 4 for Sacramento, I think it's Robert Meeson, and turned over. Referee was playing advantage because after that was a knock-on.
Great work there by Brodie Orth. Brodie Orth actually having a try with the WWE before he signed his contract with Pro Rugby North America.
Well, so he tells you. That was
great, man. What a great tackle there by Mike Garrity. Creating a steal right there. Turnover with a great high kick by Will McGee once again.
Atamalifa playing scrum half, distributing the ball. Sione Lega takes it forwards. Lots of support to Mateo. McGee dinks it through, and that's intelligent stuff. And here goes Zach Fanolio, but the referee's going to bring them all the way back. Well, interesting.
Here we go, look at the replay. Zach Fanolio might just be in front of the ball there. Yeah, it seems as though he might have taken a step or two. You know, the hooker there, it's just trying to get on the front foot, you know, knowing that he has to get on the ball as quick as possible. Unfortunately, just taking one step too quickly.
It was almost beautifully executed and good understanding between McGee and Fenolio just in front of the ball. But we go back for a penalty against Sacramento, so Denver's still with the momentum here on that 10-meter line. And McGee's going to see whether he can extend Denver's lead here with a pop at the posts.
Much better rugby here by both teams, really. Denver definitely holding on to the ball a little bit more than they did in the first half.
Yep.
Unfortunately for Sacramento, not able to get any possession and unable to build pressure, obviously, with no ball in hand.
Just off target again. This time the left upright eludes him. A couple of chances then, but still noses in front for Denver. 13-10 in the, it's now the 49th minute. There's his attempt again, always off the mark, that one.
As you can see there, as Will McGee struck the ball, his hips, once he hit the ball, weren't going towards the post, kind of going towards the left. And unfortunately, when kicking off a tee, very important that your hips go towards where you're trying to kick to. But lucky break there for Denver as Sacramento, as Harry Bennett, with his 22 dropout, actually kicks the ball out directly.
The idea was to kick it deep and bounce it in and bounds, right, and get all the territorial advantage, but it went straight out.
It's one of those funny rules in rugby. When you're taking a 22 dropout, you can't kick the ball out directly. You actually have to try and get it to bounce in bounds. And unfortunately, therefore, Mr. Bennett going out directly, awarding a scrum to Denver right on the 22 of Sacramento.
Just to point out, Swan and Ledger has now gone off, so the sin binning is over.
And it looks like my main man, Hanku Germeshuis, has finally made the field after taking 2 flights this morning after doing his bit with the Eagles national side. The 19-year-old gaining some real experience for the last couple of 2 weeks.
Where's he playing, Hanko?
Hanko's on the flank, number 7. As you see, he's been replaced. Here's
McGee with a little dummy, but well covered. There goes Brody Orth. Looking here, Denver looking much more likely in this second half. Timoteo, options to the right. Big number 5, Logan Collins. Or McGee, well collected. Dummies again, goes inside, looks for support, recycles the ball. Ruck forms, Timoteo looking for that. He's still going forwards. Nice work from the Denver pack, and there is Wannenberg.
Once again, Captain Fantastic, trying to add his weight here to the breakdown. Quick ball out wide there to Nick Wallace with a great carry.
Fenolio.
Another pick and go by Fenolio, looking to stretch out. Oh, too short.
He stretched. He was short, but they still get the momentum here. There's a penalty to Denver, offside against Sacramento, right on that 5-meter line.
Here we go, so look at the replay here. Zach Fenolio doing great work once again, working through 2 tackles with the outstretch. Luckily for Chope Motokano right there, doing great work to get the ball out of Zach Fenolio's hands as he outstretched for the try line there.
Desperate defense, very effective. They're knocking on the door, but still got plenty to do, you feel.
Sacramento definitely doing a really good job on defense here, doing well to get the numbers on the right side of the breakdown, spreading them out and making good low hits every time Denver tries to make a pick and go.
McGee kicks the ball out of bounds on the 5-meter line for a line-out throw to Denver. Zach Fenolio with the ball. Meanwhile, game clock is off. One of the Sacramento players on the ground needing attention. The trainer's on. That gives Zach Fenolio a welcome break. You can see him sucking in the air in this hot temperatures, high altitude, the mile-high city, of course. Because these Denver players are used to it.
Looks like Sienna Sina from Sacramento slowly leaving the field with a bit of a knee injury there. Hope the man can make a full recovery for next week.
Sienna Sina then.
Put in a big shift today.
Yep.
Made some great hits in the first couple of minutes of the game. Doing some great work at the breakdown. Definitely leading the defensive side of the Sacramento side right now.
Let's see who replaces Sienna Sine. There he is.
Actually, looks like Sienna
yep.
Sine might be taking
Change
a jog back onto the field right there.
His shift isn't over. He thought it was, we thought it was, but he's back on. Maybe
Looks like he just needed a little bit of an extra breath of air there, I think.
Fenolio, line out throw, goes long. 5, Logan Collins collects as he has done quite well all afternoon. Ball forms, they want to keep it, they want to push it. Fenolio takes it out, tries to find Timoteo. Ruck forms and knocked forwards. Frustration for Denver. Just spilt that ball forwards on the ground. Stops play, there'll be a scrum here to Sacramento.
Well, most of Timoteo wouldn't be too happy with that call there. Unfortunately, the ref just stepping right in his line as Zach Finelli kind of broke off the back of that that maul, and just creating a knock on there.
Well, you're supporting him as a fully paid-up member of the Scrum Half Union, Nick.
Oh, yeah, of course, 100%. I mean, Scrum Halves are never wrong, are they?
Absolutely never wrong. Nope. I don't know why we even need referees when we have Scrum Halves on the pitch.
And here we go. Volilo, sorry, excuse me. Leaving the field there as Oli Khalifi takes the field for Sacramento.
Oli Khalifi on.
What a replacement to have.
head.
Oli Khalifi in something like 20 caps for the Eagles. And had an opportunity to play against New Zealand and just came off the Rugby World Cup.
Yeah, it's fantastic experience and stars out there on both sides. Scrum collapses, no fingers pointed as to who might have been responsible, so we just reset. Beautiful pitch here. It's turf, it's soccer pitch, and holding up really well.
Definitely a great place to play here in Denver. One of two great stadiums to play in. And luckily for Denver, had the opportunity to play in both so far.
Infinity Park, Glendale being the other one.
Indeed, indeed. Home of the Glendale Raptors.
Beautiful rugby stadium, just a couple of miles from here. Kyle Sumption picking up the ball and carrying it. And that's Bergamasco back to Harry Bennett, who finds touch. Taking play back up to the Sacramento 10-meter line. The line out throw to Denver. There is Kyle Sumption. Fenolio then. Seeing whether they can improve their percentage in the line out. It's a little bit inconsistent in the first half. That's another nice one. And that's along the line. Tahu gets into the tackle. Mose Timoteo, and now there's a bit of space with Dustin Croy against 2. And he gets through 2. Oh, and tripped up, tackle. Can they get over the line? Ball going everywhere. Sacramento coming back. Referee bringing him all back for a knock-on. Dustin Croy looked like he'd made it. We've seen him do that so many times, not just for Denver, but for the Glendale Raptors as well. He's a very difficult man to put down once he's got a bit of space. Let's have a look at that. Here he goes. He's looking inside and out, dummies one way or the other, and you think there's no chance of him getting through. But it was a very important tackle in the end by, I think it was Chope Motukana.
Yeah, Chope Motukana doing great work there to kind of reel him in after breaking the attack of Garrett Brewer. And then once the tackle was made, Garrett Brewer doing a great job to steal the ball on the ground, creating a turnover ball, which results in a scrum here for Sacramento right on their own line.
Motukana then to put the ball in for Sacramento. Sumption takes the ball out, back to Motukano. Ball's in there somewhere, they might have turned that over. Denver, Timoteo's looking for it, he thinks it's on his side, and indeed Denver, nice turnover ball for them. It's a full penalty. Lying all over the ball, hanging on to the ball on the ground, says referee Scott Green, so opportunity.
It looked like it was great work there by Nick Wallace to do that, create that turnover.
Let's have a look at that again if we can. Let's see exactly what how that turnover is created. Might be difficult to see from our angle. That doesn't look great, does it? Can we see the replay of that penalty decision? Maybe it's just cramp. Let's. So.
Looks like Kali Tavaviki down there with a bit of cramp. The man definitely putting in a big shift today. the heat and altitude getting to him a little bit, I think. And time is off right now as Will McGee is looking to put another 3 points on the board here. You know, unfortunately for Denver, you know, creating a lot of opportunity, putting a lot of pressure on Sacramento, getting down into the 22, building the phases. Unfortunately, just unable to convert those opportunities.
Final execution, right?
Yeah, exactly. Which is not necessarily a bad thing. It's still keeping the pressure on Sacramento because they still have to create the actually execute the exit from their own 22. And unfortunately for them, they also just continually making the mistakes, just putting them right back where they started. Similar things that happened in the first half, but still a whole lot better by Denver. Hopefully, Sacramento can get some more ball and start creating some more opportunities.
Nice crowd here at Cyber Field this afternoon, enjoying the warm sunshine and no doubt the cold drinks.
Yeah, definitely some serious cold drinks flowing through that crowd today. It's temperature not your best friend on a day like today.
No, it's good for the vendors. Wide
That
brim.
young lady over there definitely bringing the right attire to this game.
It's a day for the wide-brimmed hats. Okay, so let's see what's going on the field. It looks like the Sacramento prop. Is that Oli Khalifi who's having to go off already?
That's number 7.
Oh,
Kali
sorry,
Tavaviki.
Kali Taviki.
Taking a stroll off the field there.
Meanwhile, McGee slots it between the posts for 3 points. Denver extend their lead. In the 57th minute, Denver Stampede 16. Sacramento Express 10. Harry Bennett then. Deep kick-off, collected by Diashaval, I think that is. Marshalling his troops to Mateo at the back of that ruck. And that's McGee belting it back down the field, as we've seen this pattern all day long. Takes it nicely back to the halfway line, and line-up taken quickly, but sort of half-heartedly.
There you can see Sean O'Leary, head coach of the Denver Stampede, trying to rally up his troops, saying, come boys, we've got to pick up the pace here. Denver kind of still seems as though they're stuck in second gear, trying to create more momentum. You know, great exit there by Denver. Then you start building on that.
Well, they've got such dangerous runners if when they do step up, they go through the gears, as we saw with Dustin Croy. Sacramento, lovely line out, well taken in the middle there. Bennett. Montacana switching it to the right. Cameron Falcon, I think it is, taking it forwards.
Carlos Sampson losing the ball there. Oh,
but he was offside. Lost the ball. It was well read. But he was on the wrong side of the ball.
Always tough, you know, trying to figure out when you're on sides and offsides, especially, you know, when you have an opportunity like that, when the ball is kind of slowed down. You have an opportunity to tee you off on the guy running at you. Unfortunately, there's Zach Fenolio and Nick Wallace just stepping over the line there, creating an offside call.
They're trying to time it, right? They're just expecting that ball to be a bit quicker and then find themselves offside.
100%.
Mirko Bergamasco taking over the kicking duties here. Well out, he's outside the 10-meter line here, so this has got to be a 42-meter attempt. 15 meters in, so this is a mighty kick for anybody, but maybe not for Bergamasco, we'll see. That's beautifully struck and slotted between the posts. What a great penalty kick that was from the legendary Italian international Mirko Bergamasco.
Definitely not shy of a kicking tee now, is he? As you can see, a great strike of the ball.
Yeah.
Body right the way through it, foot all the way through, and right between the posts. 16-13 now in the 60th minute, 20 minutes. We are 3/4 of the way through. That ball went straight out into touch. bring it back for a scrum on the centre point.
Definitely a game of errors, isn't it?
Yeah.
Both teams definitely making a bunch of really stupid, silly mistakes there. Unfortunately, there for Will McGee, kicking the ball out on the full.
Yeah.
Um,
It's carelessness, isn't it? I
Yeah,
mean,
100%.
obviously they're not trying to do that. It's just sort of things out of kilter. Put in then to Sacramento, Jope Motokana in close attendance with Mose Timoteo. Nice shot that, Scott Green. The scrum set up. Motokana out to Bennett. Bennett looking for a gap. Scragged and tackled, recycles the ball. Motokana going right now, the big number 17, Olive Khalifi. Motokana once again looks for a gap, just finds it. Where there was no gap, tackled eventually though. All the momentum now up on the 22-metre line. Bennett digs through. Oh, now. Well, did well to scrape that ball up off the ground. There's a couple of people, a couple of players out there. Good tackle, upended. Denver looking to try and turn this over, but
this
it
might
looks
be
like
a turnover here for Denver Stampede. Great tackle there by Max Dalcheval. Once again, the man putting in the tackle that counts. Haven't seen him mess a tackle very easily when it's in one-on-one with the defender.
Luke White now you can see on for Denver, number 16. Making his presence felt at that ruck. Denver still with the ball, but it's nothing clean. Going through, hands in the ruck is the decision, it looks like, maybe against Mirko Bergamasco. So that's pressure relieving for the Denver Stampede. Will McGee going to try and get this far down the pitch as possible, probably. Well, maybe not. It's a line-out throw to the Denver Stampede. Mark Nelson, the assistant referee on that side, not terribly impressed. On the 10-metre, on the 22-metre line of the Denver Stampede, Nick Fenolio as the forwards wander forwards, sort themselves out, go through their dance, nicely taken. So, McGee, box kick, well, rather cross pitch kick. And just not able to pick that ball out and knocking it on. Imprecision. Cody Jerabek. I'm going to stop here for a drinks break. What did you see there, Niku?
Yeah, Cody Jerabek, unfortunately, just putting a lot of pressure on there with a kick from Will McGee. Unable to take the ball out of the air there. If he was able to take that one, he had two options with two runners on both sides there. Unfortunately for him, just unable to take the ball cleanly. Once again, you know, just some mistakes made by both sides, unable to create any type of front foot ball. You know, the moment the momentum is built, either side makes a mistake. It kind of results in, I wouldn't say boring rugby, but rugby that's not necessarily very entertaining. The moment something cool happens, everything kind of stops, you know.
It's a tie game though, and just 3 points in it. Less than 20 minutes to go. This could certainly go either way. Denver, remember, coming off quite a heavy loss last week. Outplayed by Ohio pretty much in every department. And Sacramento hungry for a win, 1-5. They've had a couple of bye weeks, so they haven't played for a while. And of course, both teams have lost players to international duties.
Yeah, definitely. And I think both teams coming into this weekend looking to kind of make a statement. You know, obviously Denver trying to come back from a serious loss last weekend. And with Sacramento having, as far as I know, it's been 4 weeks in a row that they've had off now. You know, coming back refreshed, ready to kind of show what they're made of. You know, unfortunately for them, haven't had the better end of the stick so far this season, only with that one win. But definitely a fast improving side.
Yeah, their one win, interestingly, was in week 1, a 37-25 win over San Francisco. But they're one game behind, right? This is literally the start of the second half of their season.
Yeah, Denver right now actually still got the most wins in the competition. Haven't been able to score a lot of points, as we spoke about right in the beginning of the game.
Yep.
So they don't have a lot of bonus points. That's why the Ohio Aviators, even though they've won one less game than Denver, above them on the log. So it would have been quite important for Denver to try and gain that bonus point.
Yep. I think Ohio are 5-3 with 28 points. Is that right? And then we're 6-1. Denver's 6-1 with the same number of points, lacking those bonus points. All right, that's all academic right now. Back at the action, Timoteo putting the ball in. Good push from Sacramento. Yes, and referee's going to give them a penalty. That was a huge push, wheeling it round, forcing Denver to pull that round. That's a big psychological boost for the Sacramento pack, isn't it, Niku?
Yeah, 100%. Eric Fry, they're just showing his experience of playing overseas, and just kind of giving Jake Turnbull a bit of a lesson in how to scrum there, if you ask me. Great work there by the big man. Looks like Bergamasco stepping up once again to take a kick from pretty much the exact same spot he had his previous penalty kick.
Why not? He's been from that point before and was successful. I have to say my money wasn't on him last time, but I changed my bet this occasion.
There's one man to put your money on, definitely be Bergamasco.
Is to tie it up. Drills it this time and just goes to the left of that post. There you go. That's why I never go to Las Vegas. I would lose all my money within minutes. Good attempt though. There we go. We'll have a look at Mirko Bergamasco. Different style this time. Kept it lower. Tried to drill it through those uprights. So we restart at the 22. Will McGee with the ball. High. Allowing the Denver players to get underneath it, but well collected. Eric Fry picking it up. Bit of pace here, number 17. Olive Khalifi carries the ball, recycling quickly. Bennett chips it through, grubber kick, and a beautiful kick.
Absolutely great work there by Sacramento. You know, great take by Ryan Thompson out on the wing, able to recycle it. Great carry there by Oli Khalifi, and then Harry Bennett just kind of putting the ball there once again, adding the pressure onto Denver, and trying to get them to make the mistake. Should be interesting to see how they react to this line-out. With line-out problems still happening for Denver.
Not as clean as they could be, but that was nicely taken.
3 perfect X's.
Logan Collins has collected a few goods. That pass just well picked up because it was on his toes.
Pick and go there by Logan Collins. As Denver's trying to create an opportunity to exit. Pass there by Bobby Impson.
Bobby Impson now on for Mose Timoteo at scrum half, finding touch.
Great exit once again there by Will McGee.
Yeah, really nice clearance kick. That takes them outside of their 22. They certainly want to be outside of the 22. That's a line-out throw to Sacramento. Cameron Falcon still hooking for Sacramento.
Cameron Falcon, part of the team that Will McGee played on, actually. They'd won the Junior World Trophy in 2014, I think it was.
Good shot there. And stolen. Very nicely taken from the Stampede's point of view. It was Fenolio finding some room as well, some go-forward ball. McGee, again high, trying to get his players, his fast players underneath it. Garrett Brewer spills it forwards. Atamalifa picks it up. Now there's some momentum, but could not find Garrett Brewer. Intercepted it. We're going to come back though for a knock-on against Sacramento.
Great work there by Atamalifa to kind of do the cleaning up there.
Garrett going for it, yeah.
Garrett Brewer knocks the ball on there. Atamalifa, hard handoff there. Unfortunately, Garrett Brewer just putting himself in the right position there. Atamalifa passing the ball just to the wrong teammate.
They look dangerous once they're at speed. It's just getting them up to speed in the backs, right?
100%, yeah. It just seems as though both sides haven't been able to curate any front foot ball once again. So it'll be interesting to see what happens now. I'll be looking for Mike Garrity here to be coming on the inside of Atamalifa, trying to go through the space that will be created between Harry Bennett and Berger Musco.
That's Bobby Impson, the new scrum half for Denver. And in goes. Good push again from Sacramento. That's hard ball to take out of the back. Denver did well. Bobby Impson it was who went round the back to collect that ball from a pack that was going backwards pretty quickly and knocked it on. That's the couple of times now in the second half we've seen the Sacramento pack really pushing Denver in the wrong direction from their perspective.
Yeah, they got a bit of a international front row right there with Eric Fry, Cam Dolan and Oli Khalifi. Cam Dolan spending some time with the Eagles during the ARC preparation. Definitely bringing some of that experience back to his Sacramento teammates.
If the front row's stronger than it was in the first half, why didn't they start these players?
I know that Eric Fry was a signing just in this week. They might be having a bit of a rotational basis. I know Oli Khalifi might have had some time with the Eagles, maybe trying to give him a little bit of a rest of a hard week of training with the Eagles.
Harry Bennett chips and chases, but Max Deacheval picks it up at pace. Rudy Orth on the ground. Was it knocked on?
The ref saying coming off the knee there.
So still Denver ball. Takes it out right. And there's Hanko.
You'll get it right one day.
No, I've got it. Jermishish, I think I've got. It's an impossible name to say. All right, Denver still with the ball. Cheval taking it for us. No, it was Jake Turnbull. Atamalifa smothered. Impson out to McGee. Thought about the little chip. Pass not going to hand into touch. Dustin Croy unable to collect that.
So we're coming back for a penalty against Sacramento.
Hanko
Kharmasais maybe looking there to get a bit of a quick tap going on. The poor man has actually scored 5 tries in the Junior World Trophy this year of quick taps. So I'm sure he's reliving those moments in his head right now.
He was the only one over there. He'd have been very alone with his quick tap. So, options there, of course. Hanko wanted to take the ball and run with it. But the decision is to go for posts to try and extend this lead. Just 3 points in it as we hit 10 minutes to go. It's always going to be a tight one, you feel. Almost like the next try might do it, but still 10 minutes to go. So, I'm saying Jermishish. No, well, what's the English pronunciation of it?
Well, to be honest, I don't really know the English pronunciation. Most people will say Germisis.
Germisis.
Yeah, there you go. But the real pronunciation will be Hanko Kharmasais.
Yeah, you're welcome to it. Oh, that's a beauty.
Wonderful strike there by Will McGee.
Absolutely stunning kick. Right the way through. There was never a doubt about that. Important time to get his direction and power right. Look at that.
You could just hear the strike of that ball, that it was going between the 2 posts.
And there we are up, and we should wave. We're in the, it's through the window. Excellent. So 6-point advantage restored for Denver. Less than 10 minutes to go. Sacramento kicking off high and deep. Dustin Croy dances through 1 tackle, gets up to the 22-meter line, recycles the ball. Bobby Impson to McGee. And again, another very effective kick. Takes play up to the Denver 10-meter line for a line-out throw to Sacramento.
Great clearing kick there by Will McGee. Obviously, Fluff never happy with where the linesman says the ball went out, of course. But much still a very good kick.
Cameron Falcon, nice shot of him. A beautiful throw Kyle Sumption collecting it. Sacramento to Bergamasco in the middle of the field. Rolls, presents the ball back. Motokana. Denver line up really quick. Not getting very much momentum here. Harry Bennett now trying to fling it wide to see if there's some room out there. Cody Jerabek takes it on. Denver cover. Sacramento with the ball still. Not a great pass, but no problem for Harry Bennett. Eric Fry. Did that ball go backwards? The referee says yes. Going backwards though here. Good pressure from Denver. Harry Bennett this time trying to bounce this one out. He saw that there was plenty of space over there. Again, just a little bit inaccurate. Goes out on the full. And therefore the line out throw will be across from where that ball was kicked. Denver putting a bit of pressure now on the Sacramento offense.
Yeah, definitely putting Sacramento pressure, you know, letting them make the mistakes. It's just not a good day at the office for both sides right now. Both sides just making some real small errors.
Little inaccuracies, and again, that line out throw just not
going to hand.
Number 18, Sacramento, John Latu within the centre now. Bergamasco pumping his feet, making some progress. Bennett once again tries that chip, this time gets it right. That's what he was trying to do last time. Bounces the ball out of bounds for a line out throw to Denver, who find themselves once again back inside their 22. 6.5 minutes remaining of this one, just 6 points in it. Fenolio, as he has done all afternoon, and this time Logan Collins, I think it is, finds a good catch in the middle of the line out.
There he goes, Zach Pargo with one of his steaming runs. There we go.
Now he's got support from Hanko Jermisis. Recycled quickly, Bobby Imson picks it up and goes. Got some support there.
Might be held up there by Cam Falcon. That ball's gone down to ground. Here we go. And Max Ashraf looking to create some quicker ball. Offload there to Tamonata, step inside, being all wrapped up by Bergamasco. Denver looking for some quicker ball here. Bobby Ensom to Zach Fenolio, dummies inside, gets tackled by Eric Fry. Bobby Ensom needs to get quicker ball out here for his Denver teammates.
Oh, and it's a penalty.
Here we go.
Not rolling away against Sacramento. You probably really want the fast ball, would you? Although I suppose there are 3 points on offer here.
Yeah, no, definitely. This is true. One thing, though, as you can see, Denver making the line break. With that, turning the Sacramento defense. With that, you want to try and create as quick ball as possible, because obviously the defense is not in the right place.
Yep.
And unfortunately for Denver, just unable to create the quicker ball.
Well, this is a simple decision, of course, with the advantage just being 6. This would take them beyond a converted try difference in points. So it's a hugely important kick from the Denver Stampede's point of view. Will McGee lines it up. And slots it through for another 3 points. That takes Denver up to 22 against Sacramento's 13. Sacramento now with a lot of work to do in these last 4 minutes. 76th minute then, Denver 22, Sacramento 13. Harry Bennett kicking off. Oh, that was a nice step. That was beautifully done.
And here goes Hanko Kharmasais, breaking the line. Unfortunately, just getting scragged there by Chope Matukane. Bob Enson looking for a quick ball. Plays it off to Zach Fenolio, who takes it up. Once again, one of these steaming runs. Bob Enson, quick ball out to Jake Turnbull. Holds on to the ball.
Turnbull
carry there.
A standing start, which is always difficult. Oh, a nice little jink through. And picked up well by Zach Pauga.
That's a leafer there. Just smashing people off. As you can see there, Pieter van den Berg looking for a long, wide ball, just not getting from Bobby there.
Getting crowded over on that right wing. Jinked it through and actually bounced it out of bounds. So
Max Dasheval looking for a little chip on through there for Pieter van den Berg. Unfortunately, just not staying in bounds. Maybe the wrong option there, if you ask me.
Should have kept that ball in hand, recycled it.
Definitely 100%. You know, you had about 3 or 4 forwards on the outside towards the middle of the pitch. Maybe not a bad idea to have played them, brought in some more defenders and then gone wide. This resulting in a line-out once again to Sacramento.
Denver will be happy if the play stays down this end of the park, though. But nicely picked up and carried by Assumption.
Will McGee just getting shrugged off there by Carl Assumption. Not what you want to see as a 10 running straight at you as the 8th man.
Bergamasco picks it up, but it had already been knocked on. Probably by Assumption in that tackle.
Will McGee there trying to tell the ref that should be a penalty. Ref letting him know that he's the ref of the game and not Will McGee.
He's the referee for the full 80 minutes, he's saying.
And like I said, Will McGee not a scrum off, so obviously he's not always right. So
No, he hasn't perfected the art of persuading the referee in your favour just yet. One removed. Bobby Impson then's going to put the ball in for Denver. We are inside the last 2 minutes. Nine points between these two. It was been tuck and go all game. A scrappy game. I don't think either team are going to be particularly happy. There are circumstances, lots of players missing for both sides, which contribute to that. But it looks like Denver might get away with a win here. Scrum not setting up properly. Scott Green just having a word with both front rows, making sure that they're the right distance apart. Very technical area of the game, you have to get this right.
Definitely a very dangerous part of the game too if it's not done the right way. Zach Finola having a couple of words there with the ref just to make sure that everything goes the right way and everyone's safe.
Impson puts the ball in, hooked back. There's Vandenberg, who's worked for all 79 minutes. Really hard for Denver. Ball picked up. Brody Orth. Here goes
Jake Turnbull with a great carry there. Going some meters. Denver needs some quick ball here. Bobby Ensign playing out to Luke White. Once again, unfortunately, can't hold on to the ball. And that is just the story of the game today. Both sides just unfortunately unable to hold on to the ball when it counts. Creating the pressure, but just not converting.
And when you pass the ball to somebody like Luke White, who's 6'6" or something, and he put it on his toes, it's highly likely he's not going to pick it up.
Definitely, especially in the dying minutes of a game.
Right.
You know, the big boys have put in some serious work throughout the game. You kind of hope you'd get a pass right in the chest, or as they would say in the breadbasket.
Yep.
Unfortunately there for Luke, just not getting the best of passes from Bobby.
The dying moments of this one then, Jope Motokana putting the ball in for San Francisco. As the clock ticks past the 80-minute mark. Cody Jerabek taking the ball but tackled with Bergamasco. Taki Vikata out on that left wing. It's tight over there. Hanko.
Hanko Germesay doing great work there, chipping the ball through, making the tackle, picking it up, creating a turnover. There we go, Denver looking for some quick ball.
Oh,
getting
spoiled, but was he
right
offside?
there.
No, he was onside.
There we go, Max Darcheval.
They're going to spin this wide. They've got a whole pitch. And oh, that's a nice dummy as well. Atamalifa finds Fenolio. Fenolio looking back. He's got an overlap now. Atamalifa's gone round him, and now in the corner, Wannenberg. Beautifully done.
Absolutely brilliant work done there by Denver. Great work by Atamalifa once again to create the space. And let's talk about that try by Pieter van den Berg.
Fantastic.
That outstretched arm. What a try.
Atamalifa looping round. There he is with the ball. Talk us through it.
Steps inside there, breaks the line. Looks for the offload to Zach Fenolio. Zach Fenolio stepping on the inside there of the 6 from Sacramento. Looking for an offload to Atamalifa in the tackle. And what hands there by Atamalifa. Yeah. But let's talk about Hanko Germesay. Yep. What a boy to create the turnover right in the beginning. Hacking the ball through, making the tackle, creating the turnover, which then created the fast ball for Pieter Vandenberg to score out in the corner.
And he had to be on his tiptoes out in that corner because there was very little room for him.
Those size 14s just fitting inside the field.
Just inside the pitch. That was beautiful. Best try of the afternoon.
Definitely a great way to end the game. Once again, Denver just showing exactly what they're capable of, kind of showing glimpses of the first 6 games of the season. Here we go. Willie McGee stepping up to take his first kick.
Right on that touch line. That's another tough one for him. But he'll feel relaxed about this given the score. And this is likely to be the very last kick of the match.
Can he curl it around?
Oh, I think he did.
I think he did.
What a way to finish.
As you can see there in the background, Chad London and Ben Tarr all back from playing for the Eagles last night. Great to have the boys back in camp.
On the touchline, the USA Eagles cheering that one on. That was a beautiful kick to finish the game, and there we are. It's all over. And the 80th minute, Denver win this one over Sacramento. Denver Stampede 29, Sacramento Express 13. Denver moved to 7-1 on the season. Sacramento to 1-6. It was a scrappy game for much of it, certainly in the first half. Some shape, some accuracy came into the play in the second half, and a win for Denver will please them enormously. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, for being with us here at Cyberfield this afternoon. And thank you to Nicky Kruger for taking me through all the highlights and his great advice and experience and knowledge. Hopefully we'll do this again in a couple of weeks' time back here at Cyberfield. Have a good afternoon, everybody. Bye-bye.
I'd like to thank the Denver Stampede sponsor, the Watering Bowl. So we'll be hosting a post-match function with both teams. Very good opportunity to go meet some of these excellent rugby players on the field today.